What's up, guys? Jake Round coming back at you with another video, and today we're doing every team's worst position, but I'm gonna do it through Madden so I can see the whole teams and stuff. Don't forget to click that subscribe button to subscribe for more great content. Let's hop into this. Every team's worst position group heading into the 2021 season. So I haven't changed these rookies, Dev, but the Bears, it was quarterback. This roster, wow, this roster needs some stuff change. I'll tell you that for free. I might get a new one, but yeah, in my opinion, corner is the worst position for the Chicago Bears right now. Jalen Johnson had a fantastic rookie year. He was great as a rookie. He is a great player, but the rest leaves a lot to be desired. Duke Shelley, Kendall Vildor, I think, right? Kendall Vildor. And then Thomas Graham Jr., I think. Yeah, out of Oregon. Rookie. It's really just Jalen Johnson. I don't like Desmond Trufant. So, personally, I think the Bears' worst position heading into the 2021 season is corner. Now the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals, we all know. It's the O-line. They definitely have some holes. Receiver, their skill positions are fine. Receiver, running back, quarterback, tight end. Let's just say it's leaves a lot to be desired as well. But their O-line is junk. They need to fix their O-line, or Joe Burrow's gonna have another terrible year. Their defense really isn't that good, but we know their main need is fixing their O-line. When I told you there was something wrong with this roster, I think what happened was they downloaded the roster from the beginning of the year, and then they had to change stuff. So Josh Allen is currently an 85 overall quarterback with normal dev. Sorry about that, the mess up here. But the Bills, I think they're really good at receiver. Running back, I don't know. Tight end is fine. The O-line is okay. But I think their main need is corner, as they really addressed pass rush in the draft. They went after Gregory Rousseau, Carlos Basham Jr., so I really don't think they need help on the edge anymore. But what I think they need help at is getting another corner alongside Tre'Davious White. They really don't have one there right now, and I think if they could get another good corner, they would become, they already are the top team in the they already are a top team in the AFC, but it would solidify them. Running back is also in play here, but I'm going to give it to corner. Now the Broncos. I really don't think center is that bad, even though there's 63 overall starting there, because they got Quentin Miners, who's okay. Lord Cushenberry, I think, is better than that. He's a 70 overall, actually, right now. ESPN, shut up, please. Garrett Bowles was great last season. They do need help at right tackle, but we know what their biggest need is. It's the quarterback position. They got a fantastic defense. Their defense could easily be top 5 in the league. They got one of the top corner groups in the league now. Kyle Fuller, Ronald Darby, Bryce Callahan, Pat Surtain, Michael Ojemudia, who's not really there because he's probably low because his roster is not ideal. But yeah, their main need is definitely QB. They just got to get a better QB. They haven't had one since Peyton Manning retired. And if they could find a new QB, like a potential Deshaun Watson or Aaron Rodgers, they would become legit Super Bowl contenders. Now time for my favorite team, the Cleveland Browns. I don't think they need anything on offense. Their defense was a problem last year, and I think their main problem right now is they really don't have one. I'm going to go with DT. Malik Jackson is really just okay. They're not great there, is what I'm trying to say. They're only going to play 2 linebackers, I think, Owusu and Anthony Walker, who really aren't that bad, because they're going to play with 3 safeties. I think John Johnson, Grant Delpit, Ronnie Harrison. They literally have no holes. They got great corners. They went out and got Troy Hill, Greg Newsome in free agency. The receiver could be in play here, but I really don't think so. I'm going to give the nod to DT. So the Buccaneers, again, they're a team that really don't have holes on their team. They have no holes. Like, maybe receiver could definitely be in play heading into 2022 offseason. Chris Godwin on the franchise tag. They don't really know. I don't really know what's happening with Antonio Brown. Like, I know he's on the Bucs, but like when he doesn't have a contract extension right now. Donovan Smith and Alex Kappa are kind of like whatever, but I think it's gonna be. They're fine at corner, really. Safety, Jordan Whitehead had a great NFC Championship. I'm going to give it to D-line. Maybe Ndamukong Suh getting up there in age. William Golston not being all that great. The Bucs really just have no holes. Now, the Arizona Cardinals, where the receivers, I think, are pretty good. They even went out and got Rondale Moore. Their receivers are great. Kyler Murray is not a problem. Running back, I think, could be a problem for them heading into the season. Their O-line held up flat. It really is not good. But I'm going to say corner. Malcolm Butler was never good for the Titans. He's a Bill Belichick guy. He is only good for the Patriots. Byron Murphy Jr. is really only a nickel guy. And then they really don't have any corners on the boundary. So the Arizona Cardinals' biggest need is corner. So the Chargers, they went out and addressed their biggest need in free agency. They went out and drafted Rashawn Slater to play left tackle. That was a great pick. They got Corey Linsley in free agency, best center in the league last year for the Packers. Left guard, right guard, they really kind of need guard. Keenan Allen and Mike Williams are great. They probably need another receiver outside of them, though. Defensively, last season was kind of a struggle for them. They really don't have much at outside linebacker. Nasir Adderley is okay, but he's always injured. So, corner, they went out and drafted Asante Samuel Jr. I think he'll be pretty good. I don't really think they need corner. So, I'm going to probably say outside linebacker. Kyle Fackrell, Drew Tranquil, really, or maybe DT, but I'm going to say outside linebacker. Like I said, this roster is subpar, I'd say. Mecole Hardman is a much higher overall. I really don't think they need receiver at all. They've really fixed their O-line in free agency. One of their O-linemen can probably slide out and play tackle. Where is Kyle Long? Kyle Long is just missing. So that's a thing, I guess. Defensively, Willie Gay is profane. But linebacker really isn't that great for the Chiefs. And I'm going to say linebacker is the Chiefs' biggest need. L'Jarius Sneed had a great rookie year. Mike Hughes might turn out to be something. Corner might be in play. But I think their biggest need is linebacker. They went out and drafted Nick Bolton, but they're still linebackers their biggest need. So the Colts now. They have Carson Wentz at QB. I don't really think he's the problem. Receiver is a problem for the Colts right now. Jack Doyle is okay at tight end. Their O-line I thought was bad, but then it's actually not that bad. Their defense, wow. Why does it have so much normal depth? They're missing someone. Oh, right, that's right. They let Anthony Walker go in free agency. Kind of have a whole middle linebacker. Now, lots of normal depth. Julian Blackmon is great. Kari Willis is probably okay. Corner is okay. Xavier Rhodes had bounce back year, so Rock Ya-Sin is kind of facing if he doesn't do well. They address edge rusher in the draft. Grover Stewart's a great run stopper. Middle linebacker's kind of a problem. But I'm going to give the thing to, the biggest need to receiver. Because they really have T.Y. Hilton, but he's really not that great anymore. He's 30, kind of lost this step. But outside of that, the receivers look cool, but they're always hurt. Like, these guys have been hurt, and they're, like, not exactly great either. So the Colts' biggest need is receiver. Now, Dallas. Dallas, their interior of their O-line is weird, kind of. But I'm not going to say their O-line is the worst part of their team. They got a very good offense. Tight end is whatever, but, like, they fixed linebacker, like, their outside linebacker. They went out and drafted Micah Parsons. He will be their outside linebacker over here. And they have 3 linebackers. Their biggest need, D-tackle's pretty bad, but their biggest need is obviously defensive back. They really have nothing there. It's so bad there. Trayvon Diggs is their best corner, and that's not ideal. The DB, like every position on DB, can be upgraded. Keanu Neal is probably fine, but the rest of their DBs need to be upgraded. Now the Miami Dolphins, who receiver is fantastic now. They brought in Will Fuller and Jalen Waddle. They already had Devontae Parker. Like, what? It's Parker. They really need help. Their O-line has developmental players. That's what their team is right now. They just have to develop these guys and becoming good. And they really don't need corner at all. Safety. You know what? Should I give it to safety? They have Javon Holland, who's just disappeared, so I'm not going to give it to safety. I'm going to say IOL, just O-line in general, is their biggest need. They got lots of low overalls there, but that's really not it. Actually, no. I'm going to give it to running back. Their running backs are not good at all. Their running back play was bad last year. They could get a fantastic running back. Like, they'll become great. It'll make their offense much better. The Falcons. The receiver's kind of a problem, honestly, with Julio gone, but it's got to be something on defense, right? Linebacker. You know what? Let's go with safety. Safety is garbage, man. Richie Grant might actually make safety okay. Safety's not the worst. It's linebackers junk. The Falcons, I'm just going to say defense for the Falcons, because they could literally upgrade, like, literally anyone. Like, AJ Terrell, Grady Jarrett, and Deion Jones, Richie Grant. That's literally it. They could upgrade everyone else on defense. So, Falcons' need is defense. The 49ers. So, they have Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk at receiver, which is good. They drafted Trey Lance. We know the deal with him. He should make their quarterback position better. The right guard is kind of an issue. They got great tight end. Their running backs are pretty good. I think their biggest need is probably I'm going to go with corner, because a lot of teams need corners. It's weird. But a lot of these guys have expiring contracts. Quan Williams is a slot corner. Jason Verrett's okay, but he got injured, so he's like, okay. Manuel Mosley's okay as well. So I'm just going to say corner for the 49ers. So the Giants in the draft, they needed receiver, like separate receivers that route run. Well, why is Kadarius Toney such a low overall? their biggest need was receiver, and Darius Slayton was a great receiver. Sterling Shepard is whatever, but then they went out and got Kenny Galladay, Kadarius Toney. Receiver is great now. They had a great running back. Evan Ingram made the Pro Bowl despite having bricks for hands. The O-line, I'm probably going to give this to O-line. Yeah, I mean, they really don't have any edge rushers, but their DBs are okay. They got Logan Ryan, Adoree Jackson, James Bradbury had a great year. Jabril Peppers. They had like 5 good DBs, and that's really what you need. Azeez Ojulari kind of fixes their edge. No, it really doesn't. But they got lots of nose tackles. They got like 5 starting on the D-line, and that's actually not ideal. But, yeah, their biggest need, in my opinion, is probably their O-line. The Jacksonville Jaguars now. They got a good O-line, I think, honestly. A.J. Conn is whatever. Cam Robinson had an okay season last season. Jawan Taylor's still young, developing. Travis Etienne and James Robinson are both great at running back. They got Trevor Lawrence, fantastic QB. Their receivers are pretty good. Tight end, I'm not even going to talk about tight end. I'm going to give their biggest need to D-line. Josh Allen is a stud, but, yeah, really, I mean, safety is also pretty bad. Screw it. I'm going to give it to safety. Gerard Wilson and Andrew Wingard, you're not going to play next year. Safety, the Jaguars' biggest need is safety. So now time for the Jets, who had a good strategy this offseason. Very, very good strategy. Their strategy was, we're not ready to go yet, and so they just supplied their new young QB, Zach Wilson, with weapons. They already had Mekhi Becton, who was rock solid at left tackle last season for them. And went out and got Elijah Vera-Tucker. The rest of their O-line still leaves, it's not good. But they got Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, and now Jamison Crowder. Their team is set up for success. I forgot to mention they went out and also drafted Michael Carter. So the Jets' offense could be deadly this upcoming season. I like what they have at D-line. On the D-line, they went out and got Carl Lawson as well. Linebacker isn't the worst thing in the world, but their biggest need is definitely corner. It's junk. I'm not even going to talk about it. Their best corner is probably Bryce Hall. That's junk. Yeah, the Jets' biggest need is by far corner. The Lions. I already know what I think it is. They went out and drafted Penei Sewell at tackle. So now their tackles are good. Jonah Jackson had a pretty good rookie season last year. Linebacker, defense, man. I know what I'm going to give it to. It's receiver. It's definitely receiver. Tyrell Williams is like a number 3 wide receiver, and he's their number 1. Rashard Perriman's number 4, and he's their number 2. Quintez Cephas, Khalif Raymond, Amon-Ra St. Brown's pretty good, but like, receiver is so bad, especially when they had Devontae Smith on the board. I mean, I love the Penei Sewell selection, actually, because they just get tackles. Jared Goff will have time to throw it away, probably, but yeah. The Lions' biggest need is by far receiver. We all know what the Packers' biggest need is. It's number 2 receiver. The Eric Stokes selection was good. Otherwise, their biggest need would be corner, because their corners are worse than receiver. But yeah, Eric Stokes kind of fixed a little bit their corner need. They got good edge rushers, kind of. Rashawn Gary is like Preston Smith, Darius Smith. Their edge rushers are fine. Linebacker is kind of bad. Chris Barnes had a pretty good rookie year. As an undrafted guy. Darnell Savage, Adrian Amos, good safeties. Yeah, the Packers' biggest need is receiver. The Carolina Panthers now. So, the Panthers, O-line probably is their biggest need. They don't really need a receiver. They got Terrace Marshall Jr. in the draft. They already had Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, who were studs. They traded for Sam Darnold. I think QB's fine. D-line's great. They got Brian Burns, Derek Brown, Yetur Gross-Mato. They have someone else. I know they do somewhere. Davion Nixon was a great pick in round 5, I think. They drafted J.C. Horn. Corner is great. A.J. Boye's past his prime, probably. Jeremy Chin plays linebacker / safety. Alright, they got Hassan Reddick for pass rush. I'm going to give it to linebacker because Jeremy Chin's safety. So, yeah, the Panthers' biggest need is linebacker. Alright, Patriots now. We know they do with the Patriots. They got a great O-line, great tight ends now. Receiver and running back are pretty bad. Mac Jones in this picture looks like he's about 70 years old. Quarterback, maybe, but Mac Jones is like, coming in. Defensively, no holes. It's offensively, skill position players. I'm going to just say skill position players, wide receiver and running back. Skill position players for the Patriots. Alright, so the Raiders' biggest problem is probably O-line. Alex Leatherwood, they dismantled their O-line this offseason. We all know it. But defense is still kind of a problem. Linebacker. Safety is okay. Corner is where they draft bus. I'm going to give it to O-line because they just completely dismantled it for no reason in particular, just to get worse. So the Raiders' biggest need is O-line. The Rams now. The Rams' biggest need is edge rusher. They literally have none. Aaron Donald is a DT, and then they paid Leonard Floyd. They paid Leonard Floyd way too much money. The Rams' biggest need is edge rusher. The time for the Ravens. O-line is kind of bad. But receiver they addressed this offseason, so I'm not going to say receivers their biggest need. Lamar, I told you when this roster was bad, Lamar's only an 84 overall. They addressed edge rusher with Odafe. Why is he a 66 overall, dude? Sean Elliott's okay at safety. The Ravens are kind of good, but I'm going to say IOL. Their IOL was pretty bad last season, so I'm going to give it IOL. Now time for Washington. Logan Thomas was great at tight end last season. Their O-line held up. It was weird last season, so I'm not going to say O-line. Receivers, pretty good. Antonio Gibson had a great rookie year. Quarterbacks, their biggest need was Fitzmagic. Linebackers not the greatest, even with Jamin Davis, but their biggest need is easily quarterback. It's the most important position. Wow, is that beard look weird? But quarterback is the toughest position to play. And Ryan Fitzpatrick is a backup, really, and he's your starter. He kind of shows moments where he's just the best quarterback ever, and then he just shows moments why you know who he is. He throws like 6 picks a game. So yeah, the Washington's biggest need is easily quarterback. Now the Saints. I didn't really realize how bad the receiving core was. Outside Michael Thomas, nothing. Deontay Harris is a return man. Traquan Smith is like 3 or 4, and he's their number 2. Saints receiving core is pretty bad, but I'm going to give it to their corners. C.J. Gardner-Johnson's a safety. Drake Patrick Robinson, they paid way too much. Paulson Debo is like he's his own corner. Yeah, man, the Saints really need corner. Seattle. So, Seattle. Said Seattle way too much there, but receiver's great, running back, quarterback. I don't really think they need tight end. The O-line, Russell Wilson gets killed. Their O-line's not the best. But then again, their defense really isn't that great either. They lost Shaquille Griffin and Quinn Dunbar in free agency. Their entire defense needs fixed. It's literally just Bobby Wagner and Jamal Adams out there. I'm gonna say what I said for the Falcons: defense and O-line. Just the same. They literally need what? I don't even know, man. The Seahawks are actually not even that great a team right now. Pittsburgh Steelers, their biggest need is obviously O-line. It's so O-line. Their defense, their front seven is great. Minka Fitzpatrick is really their only DB. Joe Hayden's okay, but he's old. Terrell Edmonds really hasn't been that good in the NFL. Alex Highsmith had a decent rookie year. Justin Lane, Cameron Sutton, or whatever at corner. Yeah. Big Ben is really old, and their O-line is just garbage. The Steelers' biggest team is O-line. Now time for the worst team in the league. Quarterback. I don't know about offense. I just need to see. I just need to take in how bad they are. All right. So. Okay. Desmond King plays for them. I didn't realize that. Justin Reed, yeah. I think their biggest needs probably O-line. They literally got Laremy Tunsil and garbage. No wonder Deshaun Watson gets killed every game. Their biggest need is O-line by far. Alright, the Titans. They don't need anything on offense. Their offense is great. Titan maybe. But I think the Titans' biggest need is corner. Even with the addition of Caleb Farley, their corners still aren't good. Janoris Jenkins is really getting up there in age. They really don't have anything outside of that. So that really explains it. The Titans are a pretty complete team, honestly, right now. So their biggest need is obviously corner. The Vikings' biggest need, I don't really know. They do need help on another edge rusher outside Hunter. Corner isn't the best. But I'm going to give their biggest need the offensive guard. Christian Darrisaw was a great addition. One of the best picks of the first round. Brian O'Neill was pretty good, and Garrett Bradbury is also pretty good. So their biggest need is really just offensive guard. They got great. They're pretty good everywhere else. They could be a candidate to bounce back this upcoming season. I don't know if they will, though, because they didn't really make that many improvements, though. Like, they went after Patrick Peterson, but he has not been that great the past 2 years. But, yeah, that's going to end the video, guys. I forgot to end it there. But what do you guys think is your favorite NFL team's biggest need? Comment down below. Don't forget to click that subscribe button to subscribe for more great content. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.